The Stražar. Lars had moved out of Watchful proper years ago. He'd built himself a cabin to the north, far enough out so no one heard his nightly screams when he wrestled with the ghosts lingering in the soil of his imagination. He'd made a porch out front, facing the wood, and he sat there now in a chair constructed of thick branches, roughly carved and assembled with rope and nails. It creaked as he shifted his weight, but he paid it no mind. He puffed small rings of smoke into the sky with every pull on his long pipe. The rain fell soft and nice, tapping rhythmically on the porch roof. It was almost morning, but he wouldn't be making his way eastward today. Lars had decided to stay clear of the wood until the princess and her people were long dead. He hadn't the slightest inkling how the wood was going to react to a dozen armed men and women plunging toward its heart with even more recklessness than Roy Ricker from years before. But it wouldn't be good. Still, there lived a poetic justice in the Riker boy going along with the princess. Finally, his blood would soak up the soil beside his father's, like loose ends getting wrapped up all nice and neat. And the Dark Ones? Lars had watched the whole town march on out the day before. He'd nearly gone out with them, but, well, that wasn't for him. He'd thought about maybe joining the fight, since that at least would be interesting. Too late, though, since now he could see the fires burning in Watchful. Most of the night, he could hear the thunder, and now he knew why. So Watchful was doomed. But Lars didn't think they would come for him. Ain't no way some mystical army of monsters would go out of its way to find his little piece of ramshackle existence. He would survive, because he always did. So Lars sat, absently rubbing the scars on his neck, eyes glazed over as his mind wandered. Until the world shook. He blinked, pulling the pipe away. The ground around him stayed quiet and still, but he felt something. Am I cracked for good now? He'd go crazy eventually. It happened to all the Stražar who didn't die. Still, he hadn't expected madness to feel like the world was moving. Lars stood and stepped from his porch, eyes searching the ground, looking for signs of... A green light lit up the early morning sky, stretching the shadows of the trees out towards him like grasping fingers. A heartbeat later, Lars flew backwards, an invisible force having lifted and thrown him from his chair, his pipe gone from his hand as surely as the breath from his lungs. He hit the wooden planks of the porch floor, and his vision swam with little green dots of light fluttering about like fireflies. Lars tried to suck back in the air that had popped from his lungs, his ears ringing. It took a moment, but the air came and his chest heaved, and he sucked in a little. No. Years of conversation flooded into Lars's memory. Roy Riker hunched over maps and books, convincing Lars and the others that if they could just go a little deeper, just a little further, they'd be able to break the curse on the land. They'd make the woods safe, and then food and pelts would be plenty, gold would flow, and strife would be over, and blah, blah, blah. It had all been a lie, a terrible, scorching lie meant to make Roy Riker a little king amongst the Stražar. It had led to the death of everyone Lars ever loved, their bodies becoming breadcrumbs for Roy's boy to use to find his way home. And Lars's boy had been one of them breadcrumbs. Taken in by the lies and left to die. And now Oli had done it. That son of a motherless goat's little offspring had actually done it. And what now? Had Roy really known what would happen? Was it all just lies? Or was Oli now something a whole lot more than just a piss-poor hunter playing at being a Stražar? Still lying on the cold porch floor, Lars seethed. Whatever this was, it wasn't right. Wasn't just. If Lars's son was dead, then Roy's should be too. He'd been thinking that for a long while now. Lars screamed, and something in him vaguely aware that maybe he had finally cracked.